Alright guys, we're going to be on steps in the Tier 5 Leopard, and I kind of remember this game, but as we go through it, I'll kind of remember exactly what happens. I know it was an extremely close game, but it's been a few days since I saved this replay to record this video, right? So what we're going to have is a very, very close game. At the end, it's going to be a very, very long game, so kind of stay tuned, because again, I just went through a video where I told you guys, like, I'm going to try and not fast forward as much, so the videos might be a little bit longer, but I want to show you guys this position that I take on steps pretty much every single time I get on steps on the northern spawn. I come to this location because what you'll find is that even without CVS, you'll likely still spot someone. If you have, like, I would say at least 445 U range, like the max V range, you'll likely still spot someone on this hill, and we absolutely, like, almost deleted this Hellcat out of the game, right? We did 358 damage and someone else did 226, and like this guy was he's basically a one-shot now. So this is a great poke. Now you can see the tree is being knocked down here, which tells me someone else is here, so I'm just taking a bunch of AP shots, right? I don't want to shoot gold rounds, but I'm shooting the APs here, trying to see if we can maybe hit someone. Maybe it's the 12T, maybe it's like the ARL or the Cheeto or the Super Chaffee or like any of these tanks. Actually, the 12T was already spotted, but it could be anybody, right? We don't know yet for certain. And there's the Cheeto, so the Cheeto up here, so we can kind of start eliminating possibilities. But at this point, what I want to do is start retreating, because if you can see here what's going on in the map, right? We don't even have to pause. Just look briefly, guys. Cheeto, KV1, Excelsior, Leopard is even here in this area. Like, we've lost this entire side of the map. Our only support right now is the T-34S that's behind me, now to the side of me, and I'm looking. This is what I do. I'm showing you my camera view. You see how I do this, like, constantly, so I can determine where the enemies are. If I'm spotted, I can both see where I'm going and also see the shots that they have. So I'm trying to, like, wiggle myself out, you know? Which is why I always run into things, because I'm looking the other way. But that's why I move my camera around. I'm trying to not get tunnel vision, right? It's very important that you try your best not to get tunnel vision, which I get all the time when I'm aiming in like this. I do admit, like, I get tunnel vision a lot. You really want to try not to get tunnel vision. So that's why I'm constantly looking around and I'm looking at the map. Like, your average player would not have taken that shot on the Hellcat, because they are not paying attention, man. They are looking, you know, right here on the map at the KV1 and the Cheeto. I am not. I'm constantly looking at the mini map instead. I'm looking, where are the shots? Where are the shots? Cheeto appears here. Okay, there's another shot for me. You know, like, would you guys get the same amount of damage up to this point as I did, right? Is the question. And if you wouldn't, then you guys are getting tunnel vision, like, really bad, like way worse than me. You guys have to constantly, as you're aiming, and again, here I'm aiming as well. Now, I'm not even looking at where the Cheeto is, but the Cheeto is coming up, right? He's spotted on the map. You don't want to zoom in as much either, usually. Like, if you don't have to, don't. So you can see I was only in like 4 times there, but as this guy starts moving, I start to shoot, you know, aim in a little more, because I want to shoot right on the, not necessarily his weak spots, but where his weak spot would be based on the how long it takes the shell to get there, you know. So the shell flight duration, I should say, which is about maybe just under a second or something like that. So I'm trying to determine where that will be, especially because I'm shooting so many APCRs. Like, I'm going to want to switch over to APs eventually, man, which even have slower shell velocity. But I'm going to take these shots into the KV1. I think no, that one bounces. So now we're just left with standard APs. I do get spotted taking those shots, but again, to sum up the tunnel vision, guys, like, you have to be looking at all times. Even when you're shooting someone else, understand where other people are on the map, because they might be in a place where they will spot you, right? So you always, always, always have to be paying attention to this. And now we need to keep running away. The rest of my support is down here, right? There's no reason for us to try and stay here. Right, I know a lot of people would do that. We're going to take a shot at the Panzer. Trying to take a shot at this T-34. We're able to hit him once there. We bounce the second shell. And, like, is it even worth it taking these shots at the KV-1? I don't think they're going to go in, but I'm going to take them anyway. A couple of them bounce, and this is why I load all the APCRs. You get these people that are, like, stop spamming gold, noob. It's like, dude, how the hell else you expect me to pen the KV-1? Like, we can't even pen him on the side, right? I think there's weak spots, like, yeah, like, right on the bottom of the turret and stuff. Like, I know where it's supposed to be shot, but good luck hitting those spots when you're 350 meters away, right? Or something. And again, another example of why I've been using the 5cm on this tank, because the way I play, like, dude, I would never be able to do anything close to this with the 3cm. I don't think, anyway. So I'm going to try and get a quick angle on these guys. The gun depression on the front of the Leo is really, it's bad, man. Like, this tank has gun depression issues, like, all over the place. It's really weird. If you can get the gun to the side, you're better off doing that. But again, guys, just always, always, always be paying attention to the map. Be looking. I'm using my concealment now to try and stay away from these guys, basically. I'm trying to get at the perfect distance where I can kind of keep them lit, but not get lit myself. And at this point, I need to press these guys. That's what I'm thinking. I'm full HP. I can clean up the T-34S. Maybe he puts one into me. The KV-1 has gone up and over the train tracks here, up and over this little hill. So I know he won't have shots to be able to support the T-20 T-34S rather, and now I can clean up the T-34S because he's all by himself, and now the KV-1 is our next target, right? Because people are pushing in, he's kind of distracted. I'm going to rush in here. If I have to take a shot from him, I will. I'm going to rush in and start putting shots into him, like so. Going to come around him, going to ricochet a bunch of shots because that's the way the KV-1 is. He's got trollish armor, and we're able to clean him up. We only have 11 shells left. 1424 damage we're at, guys. 770 spotting. Probably shouldn't have taken so many blind shots because now we're having an ammo issue, right? And why I have 5 HE shells, I don't know. After this game, I realized, like, holy crap, if I have another game like this is not good. So I loaded more APCRs and a little bit less APs and only like 2 HE shells, you know. And then I put Arta as balance because it just basically one-shotted my teammate there. Again, man, Arta's, at least this wasn't a leaf, right? It was just a good shot on his part. But again, I just really hate how the arties can pen for so much. Like, I wish they would just lower the damage that it's able to do. I know that the accuracy is bad on arties and stuff, and it's enjoyable when you guys hit for 500 on a tier 5 light tank, but it's just some BS, man, because there's no risk involved with arty, right? You can just sit in the back of the map and you really don't have to worry about anything. So that's why I dislike it. Like, I'm totally cool with the FV4005 because at least you have to go out with your gigantic barn of a tank and you don't have armor, and like, you're putting yourself at risk, right? So it's just how I feel, guys. I know some people would disagree with me, and I know they have disagreed with me, but it is what it is, man. It's like, you can't please everyone. That's my opinion, and that's what, you know, what I'll close with. So at this point, we have to try and find this ARL and T67. We have the 12T to assist us. I'm at 4 kills. Maybe we can get the top gun in this game. We'll see. I honestly don't even remember. But when you're put in this situation, you want to utilize these bushes in this area, guys. So you poke up, and you're not spotted when you poke up, right? Because you're going to be behind the bushes. That's why you want to try and utilize these bushes to the best of your ability, because you're likely not going to outspot these guys if they're sitting back in these areas. Like behind this big rock over here, you guys know this area. It's like the 7 or 8 square. And also this other area where the AMX has gone into. Now, because the AMX has pushed into this area, I know nobody is where he is, obviously. So now it's basically, we're just trying to determine, like, where the heck is the Arta, because they have 2 Arta, and where are these guys? Like, where are these guys, man? Because I don't want to get into a situation where one of these guys is going to hit me from the side or something. We're spotting the M41. I'm pretty sure the ARL hits hard. The T67 has really good damage per minute, and damage per shot is also pretty good as well. So we're going to start taking these shots at the M41, and I pretty much intentionally come out of the bush here. I don't even know if I could solid bush here with the gun depression and all, but I want to see if I'm getting lit here, because that would be really informative to tell me, like, where the T67 and the ARL are, because I know the M41 does not have the view range to be able to light me here. So because I'm not getting spotted, I'm almost certain that these guys are in this area. I get lit here, and the ARL, it's either the T67 or the ARL that's poking right here that ends up lighting me. But it's the T67 here, and I was just amazed that I did not get spotted when I took this shot. I think it's because maybe I was like behind this rock or something. So the view range wasn't there for the T67, so he didn't spot me as I was taking shots into the M41. But the 12T spots the Hummel. I now know where the T67 is. The only issue for me is the ARL. I do not want to get hit in the side by the ARL, and I'm hoping that he's not going to come around like this. If he was a really good player, I'm sure that's what he would do, but he has like a 445 W8, so he's arguably a below average player. We're going to start taking shots at the T68. I'll show you guys these shots. Really stupid play by the T67. Did I say T68? I'm talking so fast, guys. Trying not to pause, but we take shots at the T67, and I don't know why this guy made this play, because he threw away his entire tank, right? It wasn't like he was like a 2-shot or a 3-shot. Like, to me, like, I had to put like 6 or 7 rounds into this guy if the 12T didn't hit him in order to clean him up, right? I mean, probably even more than that. I think it's only like, what, 70 damage a shot or something like that? 70 damage a shot. So yeah, it would have been a lot, man. It would have been like at least like 7 shells that I would have had to put in. And then the ARL goes to the cap. And this is not necessarily unpredictable. I would think the ARL would be there to support the T67. If he was, I feel like this could have been a much different game. But this is a win nonetheless. The T150 and the 12T can now sit on the cap. I can go after the ARL. And because the T67 has been dealt with, we're good, right? But the problem is I run out of ammo, so now I only have the HE. So I'm shooting the HE. I know we're going to win this game because we have 2 people on the cap, right? I'm trying to see if there's anywhere I can pen this guy with the HE, and there's just not. There's nowhere I can pen him. So I hit him in the cap like 4 times, and now I just have to ram him because the Leo can actually do that. So I'm going to come around this guy. I'm like, ammunition is empty. I put that in the chat, like F8. I'm just going to try and ram this guy. And this becomes really funny, man. So I'm like trying to come in, ram him, get him for 47 there. And then I'm going to turn around, come back after him again. See, he's like turning his tank really slow. Come back after him here. Ram him. And we get the kill on this guy with literally no ammo left. So if you guys play this tank with this gun and you get into a game like this, I would highly suggest that you do not load any more than like 2 or 3 HE shells. The only reason I have the HE shells there is to reset the cap if a situation calls for it, because there's no pen really on the HEs, so they're not really reliable to pen anything. I just have like 2 of them just in case I need to reset the cap, and there's like, I don't know, a KV1 or just something that I'm not sure if I can pen, and the timer is at like 5 seconds. I'll just load the HE shell real quick and just throw it like right into the turret or the track or something, you know, just to do something, and reset the cap. And then I would load a decent amount of APCRs because, like, you go through ammo really quickly on this vehicle, and we took like, what, 10 blind shots maybe? It wasn't that many, and we completely ran out of ammo. Now, if these were regular, if 3 of these shells were not HE and standards, we probably would have been okay, maybe, because we would have done, what, another 210 damage, but you guys can see what it was at. But anyway, 5 kills, guys, 2201 damage, 830 assists, 3 spots, and that's it for steps. We didn't fast forward at all in this video, I don't think, right? So I hope this is helpful. Again, the ARL, like, if the ARL stayed to support his T67, I don't know if this would have been a win, because the ARL, I think the ARL has one of those, like, doesn't have like a derp gun on it. I think it hits pretty dang hard, man. So who knows what would have happened with this game if he stayed around to help the T67. If he did, would this have been a loss? Who knows, man. But we played it as we needed to play it based on what the enemy team did, as we always do, right? And that's why I tell you, no game is ever the same. You can never predict what certain players are going to do. And this is why I use XVM. I swear, like, there was some guy that came in and said, Whirls, you clearly care about stats if you use XVM. Yeah, I do, man. I'm not going to lie and say I don't care about stats. Everyone wants their stats to be good, man. But the reason I use XVM is so I can see how good enemy players are, because it helps me to determine what they might do, right? Like, a player that has a 1700 win 8 is probably going to do something drastically different than a player that has a 445 win 8, right? So it's just, this is a way to, you can call it cheating if you want, but XVM is, it's completely permitted by Wargaming. They don't care at all if people run XVM. In fact, they have it like on their own website. Like, when you go to download XVM, you have to go through Wargaming's like login, right? And you log in and you download XVM. So people can say what they want, but that's why I run XVM. Like, it's not, I don't run XVM to see that my win 8 is really high, and I'm like, oh yes, like, you know, like my win 8's so high, this is why I have to run XVM. Like, dude, that's not the case at all. Like, I really don't care. Like, what the thing is here, okay, let me rephrase. I care about my stats, guys. Everyone does. I want my win 8 to be high. I want my win rate to be high. I care more about WTR, to be honest with you guys, because I think that's the best determination of how good of a player you are, is by WTR mostly. But the thing is, man, it's like there's no reason for me to run XVM to look at my own stats. So, like, I don't know why someone would claim this. Like, you run XVM just to look at your own stats. Like, no, man, not at all. If XVM only showed me my stats, like, first of all, you wouldn't need it in the game. Sure, it'd be nice to look at in the garage or whatever. But the whole reason I run it is to see the win rates of other players. You know, some people run it to look at the win rate, the possible win rate of the game. I don't even know where you find that. This is like an add-on, I think, in Aslanes. I've never run it. I could care less, man, because a lot of times it's wrong anyway. But I run it to see, like, okay, enemy 12th is a really, really good player. I have to watch out for this guy, right? And he might make a play that I would make because he's got the same win 8 as I do. This is why I run XVM, guys. Like, I want to see how good the enemy players are. I don't know how else to explain this for this couple of these trollish people that like make comments on my videos. It's like, whatever, man. Like, you know, like, people are going to troll you. I don't really care that much, but I have to explain like why I do certain things to these people that think I run XVM because I care about my own stats. Like, I do care about my own stats, but that's not the reason why I run it, right? Like, I could just go on tomato.gg and jerk myself off to my stats if I want. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, these people are just so stupid sometimes. But anyway, high caliber guys, mastery. And, you know, we did get the kamikaze because we rammed this dude. 2268 damage, 10 module damage, 5 kills, 933 assists. And that's all for this one, guys. But yeah, again, like, just to close, guys, don't listen to the trolls, you know. Like, I don't just mean on my channel. Like, when people are trying to troll you in the chat and stuff like that, like, you can't listen to players on your team, man, unless you're positive that they're trying to give you good information, right? Like I would do to help you guys if you guys were in the game. Our 12T played a good game as well, man. And yeah, all is good. We got the win. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care.